Morning ladies and gents, hope everybody's doing well. It's absolutely beautiful here today. It's really nice and sunny. It's quite early in the morning. I'm just doing a quick tutorial to satisfy some of my lace monsters because they do ask me, you know, when's next tutorial coming up? Come on Amanda, you know, we're sat waiting for something to watch from yourself. So yeah, I have been really busy, so I am sorry for neglecting you all. I'll do my best and I'll try and get a couple up within the next couple of days. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make some bows. Now bows frustrate me. You know the little bow makers with pegs? I had one of those and I literally threw it out the window because it annoyed me so much. You know, there's all kind of bow makers out there, isn't there? There's these ones you've got to near enough get a toolbox out for. You know, and you've got to use a spanner to change your hook. I haven't got time for that, me. I'm too impatient. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and make an alternative way of making a bow. I just want it to be a 2-layer bow, quite simple, and then what you can do is you can add things to it. I'm just going to cut off the end of this because it's a little bit creased and I don't want it creased. This is only budget quality satin. It's single-sided. It's not expensive. You don't have to use expensive things all the time for crafting. You can have a few expensive things and a few cheap things. Right, I'm just going to measure 6 inches. This ribbon is, what is it? It's about 1.25 inches. Okay, the width of your ribbon doesn't really matter. I don't think you can experiment with different widths. I've just picked this one up. I've got this one as well, which I think is, yeah, that's just over 1.5 inches. That's like a 1.75 inch. So you can use different widths and play about with it. So I'm going to measure a piece at 6 inches and then cut it. And then I'm going to measure a piece at 4 inches. Now some ladies will recognise what I'm doing immediately. And what I'm doing is I am using the system that ladies use on the envelope punch board to make paper bows, and I'm going to use the same principle but with ribbon, okay, because I'm rubbish at tying bows but I like pretty ribbons, so I'm using the same method. Obviously I can't use the punch board on ribbon, so I'm doing it by hand. So what we're going to do is, this is going to be my bottom. I'm not going to have the very bottom layer with the tails on like you do on the envelope punch board just yet, because I think that might end up floppy. We'll see, I might do. But so you get your long piece, which is 6 inches, and just very gently and very close to the edge, just round off them corners. Okay, and then in the centre, yeah, we're just doing a little nick, like so. Just cut it at an angle there. I think that's right. I'm trying to think how the bow maker does it. Yeah, I mean not the bow maker, the punch board. Just cut it at a little angle. Yeah, so you cut a little triangle off, so you're ending up with that shape. Okay, can you see that clearly? You're ending up with that shape there. Do that to your other one as well. Fold it in half. Round off the corners. Just very simply rounding off the corners to make it look neater. Okay, when it's put together, that's all it is. It just gives a bit of a nicer shape if you round them edges off. And then find the central point and just nick the corner off like so. Okay, now I need to just get myself something to put in the centre actually, because I've not thought about what I'm going to use at all. Let me have a look. I'll just get a few things together because I'm going to put a little something in the centre, and I don't have any blue bows. Sorry, 1 second. I'm never ready, never prepared. I'm just going to get a selection of little things out. I'm not quite sure what size it's going to turn out, so just get a couple. I mean, you could put anything in. I'll show you in a minute. Right, so this is your bottom layer, so you turn it over. This is only single-sided, so I'm putting the satin side down. If you're using double-sided satin, it doesn't matter. So then what you do is, you get your glue gun, which is obviously got blobs all over it, if you're out like me. Let me just get them blobs off, yeah. Tiny, tiny little dab of glue in the middle. very tiny, not a lot at all. And then fold that side to the centre, okay? Leaving, so you'll have a nice shape there, okay? And you what you do is you experiment and you do different sizes, and you have your bottom layer 2 inches bigger than your top layer. So you do it in stages of 2 inches. Just pull that over a bit. Okay. Like so, and then I'm going to do this one as well. And just tuck it over. And then, you know, you're going to have a pretty bow. Oh, hopefully. Hopefully you're going to have a pretty bow. Now that one, it's a little bit small. So what I'm going to do, I've done that a bit small, the far one. So the bottom one was 6. What I'm going to do, this is actually the first time I've tried it, but I had it in my head last night I wanted to do one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it. And I'm going to have the 6 one for the top, and I'm going to measure 8 inches for the bottom, because the far one with this width of ribbon is isn't just not right. So I've got 8 inches here, so we've got 8 inches and 6 inches. Sometimes things don't always go to plan first time, but again, just quickly snip off those corners, tiny dab of glue, just there, fold that over, and that's a better size. It's just the width of my ribbon. I made the loops, the top loop was just a little bit too small. Fold it over, okay, there we go. And when you're folding it over, just leave a small gap in between there, because you're going to attach your second bow. Just let me get rid of all these glue strands. Glue strands. Right, now I'm going to just gently attach the 2 layers together, like so. Now, getting it as central as you can so that you're keeping that pretty shape. Okay, squeeze it together in there. Can you see? You could even make a butterfly like that, look. Can you see? Butterfly. You could make butterflies like that, and then with smaller ribbon. Or you could cut this bow in half and you've got some butterflies. I don't know. Do what you want with it. Right, and then I'm going to, I am going to stick, am I going to have one of those in the middle? Oh, that looks pretty, doesn't it? Now what I would like to have done is added one of the ribbon bows, ribbon sliders, but doing this style of ribbon bow this way doesn't work like that. So let me see. I think it can take one of these bigger ones actually, if I'm honest. So I'm getting my flower centre and I'm putting it as central and as nicely in the middle as I can. Just play about and see what size fits. Okay, see what size looks nice, because some things might be too big. You don't want a massive centre in the middle of your bow. See, sometimes with flowers and ladies, you know, in the centres, take the focus off the flower because they're too big for it. So there we go, we've got a little bow. Am I happy with that centre? Yeah, I am. We've got a little bow. Now, what you can do, shall I just zoom in? There we go, we've got a little bow. Now what you can do is you can add to that. Just pop that out. I don't know if that centre's a bit heavy for it. Is it? I think it might be, you know. Let me see if I've got something else, because I've got a feeling that's a little bit heavy. Let's have a look. Got a feeling that that's a little bit heavy, to be honest. Don't know whether to add that. I think I might have in hindsight added that instead. I think the metal flower centres are perhaps a little heavy, but what you can do is add another layer underneath. You could add that in a flower. You could put another layer of lace under it. Let me have a look, see what I've got. Let's see what I've got over here. Oh, dogs are off. Yep. I haven't got anything to hand. Let's have a look what's here. What we got here? Let's have a look. Oh, you could add some tassels to the bottom, look. Like that. That'd look pretty, wouldn't it? A couple of those. Or maybe some of... Let's have a look. You could add feathers to them. You know, you could treat them the same way that you treat your flowers. Why does it always have to be a flower that we use? You know, there's only so many different ways of doing flowers. Think of something else. You know, you can decorate bows just as well. Let's have a look. These scissors are a bit big. I'm not very prepared, am I, this morning at all? It's because I've not long been up. I'm absolutely shattered from working 7 days now. You could add some little details in like so. I might even add that in there actually, if it'll fit. Will it? I'm faffing about now, aren't I? Yeah, I'm just going to add these little touches in this bow. And just think on, you can do what, you know, you can decorate them and go all out with them, like I said, just the same as you can your flowers. But, you know, it makes a nice change on your project than merely making, you know, just flowers all the time. And I'll do my normal sales pitch. You can put them on a tag, you can put them on a box, you can put them on a fabric book. It's like a little poem. I need to get Pamela to do a little poem about it. Yeah. Tag, book, box, fabric book. Yeah, you can put them on your birthday cards. You know, although my card making friend Sandra was probably cringing at my attempt to bow because she does the most beautiful bows and I just can't do them. Mainly because perhaps I don't have the patience that I should have, that I was born with. It's gone, it's left me. So there we go. And also what you can do with your ribbon, I don't have one to undo her. Let me just give you an example. Don't forget, this is a bad example, okay, but if you've got a nice lacy ribbon, you can double layer them like that before you make your bows, okay? And that's really, really pretty look as well, okay? Don't forget. In fact, that actually looks quite nice on there, actually, doesn't it? That'd make a lovely bow. So, yeah, there's loads you can do with just good old cheapo ribbon, yeah? In fact, there's a lot you can do with ribbon. And it's very, very inexpensive. And then you can buy your laces and, like I'm doing, just use small amounts of it as your finishing touch, which I shouldn't be saying really because I'll be doing myself out of business. Buy loads of lace, don't use little bits. No, I'm only kidding. But yeah, you get your nice laces with the, you know, that are maybe a little bit pricey. And you might think, oh, I wouldn't want to put all that on a project. Well, no, you don't need to. What you do is you cut tiny little elements of it and dot them about, and that way your laces last you longer, but you've still got the appearance of using the beautiful lace. I'm just going to stick that one in there like that, so it's just peeking out, like so. And I need to hurry up because I've got breakfast to make. School run to do. I've fed my dogs. They've not. I was telling the Facebook ladies. Well, it's been a bit of an ongoing thing that my dogs keep escaping out of the garden and into the back field. And I had a joiner out to come and build a fence and a gate to keep them in, and the little monsters still found a way out. So what I did yesterday was I blocked up the little hole that they found by fashioning a fence myself out of an old pallet that I found in the garage that was waiting to go to the tip, and I pulled it to pieces and made a little bit of a fence, and I've blocked them in and they can't get out because I've watched them. I sat some of the day yesterday in the garden with them, keeping an eye that they didn't escape, and then they can't get out. So there we go. I'm going to stop rabbiting because I've got breakfast to make, and there is my little bow, which actually worked out quite well in the end. These things generally do. Can I zoom in? And so there we go. So we've got 8 inches on the bottom, 6 inches on the top. okay, and pretty flower centre, and then just little snippets. Now this is a not a cheapo lace, it's not overly expensive, but by cutting off tiny elements you can make your laces last longer, and I think that's really pretty. You could add, you know, tails to it, like you do with your flowers, and go all out. You could even add feathers to it. It's just an alternative to always making flowers, so have a go and have a play with making some bows. Have fun, ladies. See you soon.